All right, this is a bit of a challenging problem, but we can do it. So a parabola has an axis of symmetry at x equals a half. So I'm going to start by drawing some axes. Let's try and make that a straight line. Okay, x equals a half. So let's go here and call this x equals a half. There's my axis of symmetry. My range is y is less than or equal to 3. So up here at 3, that must be my maximum, and my graph must point down because that's my range. Y is less than 3. Okay, so I know my vertex is a half, 3. So determine my equation in this form. I also know one intercept is at 2, 0. So this is a half. I'll call that 1, and then that same distance would be 2. So I must come down this way. So 1.5. My other my other intercept must be -1. So we've got 2 there. By symmetry, we must be at -1 over here. So I can use my vertex form, it's telling me. A times x minus a half squared plus 3. And now I can plug in this point. When x is 2, y is 0. A times 2 minus a half squared plus 3. Well, let's figure that out. 2 minus a half is 1.5. Let's square that. And we get 2.25. So 0 equals 2.25a plus 3. We know it points down, so my a must be negative. If I solve this equation, so a is going to be -3 divided by 2.25. Let's work that out. And we get -1.3 repeating. I could also turn that into a fraction. Whoops. So turn that into a fraction, and I get -4/3. So if I'm going to call my a -4/3, or I could say -1.3 repeating, y equals -4/3, x minus a half. If I use a fraction here, use a fraction here, squared plus 3, or we could say y equals -1.33, x minus 0.5 squared plus 3.